ये सब तो ये गलत है. ये मेंटेनेंस 50% राइट इन प्रॉपर्टी ये नहीं चाहिए. ये उसका है.
The media disproportionately focuses on high-profile divorce cases, highlighting how ex-wives walk away with their husbands' millions. And in pop culture, women are stereotyped as gold diggers and men as victims of their manipulation, often left poor in the aftermath of divorce. Even court judgments reflect this bias. In 2015, the Madras High Court ruled that a woman would be entitled to alimony only if she remained celibate after her divorce. And in 2017, the Supreme Court set the benchmark for maintenance paid by a man to his ex-wife at only 25% of his salary, no matter what his earnings may be. These perceptions, coupled with administrative hurdles, deeply impact the lives of divorced women and deter them from seeking alimony. So, where does this bias against a woman's right to alimony come from? Well, traditional gender norms encourage a man to become the primary breadwinner and encourage a woman to drop out of the workforce after marriage so that she can give unpaid domestic labor as a wife, mother, and daughter-in-law. And so, globally, just over half of married women are in the paid workforce, while 96% of married men are. In India, the situation is much worse, with around 20% of women being in the paid workforce. But while this creates an economic vulnerability for women, researchers observe that men's earnings are directly benefited from having a wife who is a homemaker. Because women routinely take care of the rigorous work at the home, men are able to pursue more demanding job opportunities, which have a positive effect on their career and income progression. There is a clear division of labor between the husband and the wife, where the wife's work at home creates the ideal conditions for her husband to do paid work outside. And yet, her claim to the family's earnings is rarely recognized. And this is what makes a woman's demand for alimony a moment of so much tension. Because it's a moment in which her husband and society at large are forced to recognize her contribution to household income and at the same time compensate her for the vulnerable position she is in after the breakup of a traditional marriage. By taking into account a woman's economic circumstances in relation to that of her husband's, alimony seeks to equalize the disparity between the ex-husband and wife, where a man is earning and capable of building future wealth precisely because he's played the role of primary breadwinner in the past, whereas a woman may be unemployable because she's made professional sacrifices to do unpaid work for their household. So maybe instead of attacking alimony as an unfair benefit, it's time to take a cue from the underlying idea that women have every right to this money because it's their tireless, back-breaking, unpaid labor which enabled it in the first place. That's it for this week's video in the Overthinking It series made by popular demand. If you have more suggestions for topics we should cover, do drop them in the comments below and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the Swaddle.